Today, promising Phase 3 findings in breast cancer, chronic lymphocytic leukemia, and multiple myeloma, a clinical hold lifted in AML, and Republicans released their plan for repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act. Welcome to OncLive News Network. I'm Brielle Urciuoli. In early HER2-positive breast cancer, the addition of pertuzumab to trastuzumab and chemotherapy in the adjuvant setting was found to reduce the risk of recurrence of invasive disease or death in patients. According to findings from the Phase 3 AFFINITY trial, there were no new safety signals reported for the pertuzumab regimen. The complete results of the study will be presented this year at an upcoming medical meeting. AFFINITY is the confirmatory trial for the September 2013 accelerated FDA approval of pertuzumab for use in combination with trastuzumab and docetaxel as a neoadjuvant treatment for patients with HER2-positive, locally advanced inflammatory or early-stage breast cancer. In AFFINITY, 4,805 patients with operable HER2-positive early breast cancer were randomized in a 1-to-1 ratio to adjuvant treatment with trastuzumab plus chemotherapy with or without pertuzumab. Genentech, the manufacturer of pertuzumab, collaborated on the trial with the Breast International Group, Breast European Adjuvant Study Team, and Frontier Science Foundation. In the Phase 3 GENUINE trial, the combination of ublituximab and the BTK inhibitor ibrutinib demonstrated significant improvement in objective response rates versus ibrutinib alone for patients with previously treated high-risk chronic lymphocytic leukemia. While full findings from the trial are being prepared for the presentation at an upcoming meeting, the manufacturer of ublituximab, TG Therapeutics, plans to submit the data to the FDA for a potential approval. In the open-label study, the overall response rate with ublituximab plus ibrutinib was 80% compared with 47% for ibrutinib alone. The combination was well tolerated with no new safety concerns. In addition to improving overall response, the combination of ibrutinib and ublituximab showed an improvement in several secondary endpoints compared with ibrutinib monotherapy. The two-drug regimen improved radiographic complete response, progression-free survival, and time to response compared with ibrutinib alone. TG Therapeutics noted that the safety and efficacy findings in the Phase 3 GENUINE study were similar to a prior Phase 2 investigation in which the combination demonstrated an ORR of 88% at 6 months in 41 evaluable patients with CLL. In multiple myeloma, full results of the Phase 3 482 study showed that denosumab was non-inferior to zolduronic acid at delaying the time to the first skeletal-related event. The study results, which were presented at the 16th International Myeloma Workshop in New Delhi and announced by Amgen, the developer of the rank ligand inhibitor denosumab, showed that the median time to first on-study SRE was similar between the treatments at 22.83 months with denosumab versus 23.98 months with the biphosphate zolduronic acid. Additionally, the median progression-free survival was 10.7 months higher in the denosumab arm. There was also a non-statistically significant trend in overall survival favoring denosumab. The FDA has lifted its clinical hold on several Phase 1 trials of vetuximab taurine in acute myeloid leukemia, which was initially put in place in December 2016. The agency enacted the clinical hold following the deaths of 4 patients who were treated with vetuximab taurine along with allogeneic stem cell transplant, either prior to or following treatment. Specifically, the FDA wanted to assess the risk of hepatotoxicity since the 4 patients who died had veno-occlusive disease. Seattle Genetics, the manufacturer of vetuximab taurine, plans to resume 2 Phase 1 trials in AML, initiate a randomized Phase 2 combination trial in AML, and continue both Phase 3 cascade trial in frontline older AML patients and a Phase 1-2 trial in frontline high-risk myelodysplastic syndrome patients. Across all vetuximab taurine studies, Seattle Genetics plans to incorporate additional measures to mitigate risk, including revising both the eligibility criteria and the protocols for halting treatment due to veno-occlusive disease. And finally, Republicans in the House of Representatives have proposed the American Health Care Act as a replacement bill for the Affordable Care Act. The new bill eliminates the individual mandate requiring that all Americans have health insurance while preserving restrictions around pre-existing conditions. Republicans will anticipate the new bill, which will continue to grant coverage for dependents under the age of 26, will pass Congress within the next 30 days. Additionally, select refundable tax credits that exist under the ACA would remain for families with incomes lower than $14,000. Moreover, age-based credits would be built into the bill, starting at $2,000 for those under the age of 30 and reaching $4,000 for those over 60. The maximum per household credit will be $14,000. The announcement of the proposal has drawn criticism from the Democrats. Before it becomes law, the American Health Care Act will still need to pass a vote from the House of Representatives and Senate before ultimately being signed by President Donald Trump. That's all for today. Thank you for watching Enclave News Network. I'm Brielle Urciuoli.